Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. So, we're digging in a little bit more today, digging in a little bit deeper, going a little bit farther in Ephesians 6:11. So, put on God's whole armor. An armor. And so, we all know what an armor is, but you also know me in that I want to define armor and I want to really break it out. So, here we go. An armor is defined as a defensive covering for the body. Armor is defined as a defensive covering for the body. A covering used in combat. Okay, so what is combat? It's designed for conflict, a fight between groups, battle, war, conflict, and action. And in some of my study this week, action has come up several times, and our being prepared to move quickly or swiftly. And if you've ever been in a battle or you're familiar, you've seen stuff on TV, you do know that you have to be ready to move at a moment's notice. And we're going to go back to David and Goliath a lot, but David. Saul's armor didn't fit. He could not move swiftly. David was a young man. Saul was a very mature king. He was older, more defined, bigger. Saul was bigger. So the armor was not conducive for David to be able to move efficiently and effectively on the battlefield. So this armor of God that we put on is designed for us to be able to move swiftly, efficiently, and effectively in action. Because, well, in a battle, there's action. So we have to be able to move adequately. So, a defensive covering for the body. So these parts of the armor are defensive. They defend our body, and it's covering. It is a covering used in combat. This, in the Amplified Classic Version, it says the armor of a heavy armed soldier which God supplies. So a heavy armed soldier. If somebody is armed, what does that mean? So our armor is not only a defensive covering or a covering used in combat, but this armor is armed. It is also a weapon, and that's exactly what armed means. Armed means furnished with weapons or furnished with something that provides security, strength, and efficacy. Well, that's a big word. What does it mean? Efficacy means having the power to produce an effect or the power to bring about a result. Now, that's why we go in definitions, because this one excites me. This armor that God supplies is the armor of a heavily armed soldier, one that provides the power to produce an effect. The power to bring about a result. We are not just wearing this armor for the fun of it, okay? And this is one thing Rick Renner talks about in his book, Dressed to Kill. All of it's metal. This armor that the Roman soldier wears, his helmet is made of metal. The greaves that go from his shin to his feet and on the top of his feet, that's metal. His coat of mail, the breastplate, metal on the front, metal on the back. His shield is leather, steel hide, very heavy. His sword, his lance, there's a lot of metal. It's a lot of metal, and that weighs heavy. So we are not just wearing all these pieces of armor because it's something fun to do, but we are dressed in the armor for purpose because we are going to see a result in this battle, in this standoff, in this, as Paul says, wrestle. we're going to see a result. So we are armed soldiers, furnished with weapons that provide security, strength, and the power to bring a result, the power to produce an effect. We'll pick up here tomorrow. I will see you then. Bye, y'all.